Hi guys, it's Donna here from Donna's Creative Space. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and yesterday I made a video because my original video making this fun fold card for my team meeting, it came out blurry, so I redid it. We had made this during the this one was the one we made during the meeting. It's a diamond fun fold. The video came out really blurry. So I did a new video yesterday making it with this new paper called, what is this called? Gathering, oh my goodness, Gathering Moments maybe? Gosh. Gathering Together. It's beautiful paper, but I had all the supplies out, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to make some more, but not this. I'm making a new card. It's not really a fun fold, but it has a fold in it, so, and it's kind of fun, so maybe we can call it a fun fold. But anyway, I went ahead and I started, this is where I stopped. I was making these stamped images of the leaf and these two types of leaves. And these are from the stamp set Artistic Leaves, which is an online exclusive at on Stampin' Up! So you have to go online to see it. It's not in any catalog. But anyway, you do have to, it doesn't have any dies, so you do have to cut it out with scissors, but that's okay. I don't mind fussy cutting. And it's not too hard. These leaves, you know, they're a little bit of forgiveness. But anyway, in case you missed yesterday's video, I'm going to make my last couple of leaves for you right here. And I have a piece of scrap paper that's kind of messy, but because I'm stamping off. So what I'm doing is kind of like a stamping off and sponging on the stamp technique. It gives you this kind of cool background. Plus, this stamp set is called a distinctive stamp set because if you see by this, I don't know if it picks up on the video, but there's kind of a gradation. It's all like the artwork is made up of tiny little dots, and there's a little bit more gradation behind there's a line art, and there's gradation in this stamp also. It is very hard to see on the stamp set. Not sure if you can kind of see, it's blurry in some areas, and the die, I mean the stamp has kind of taken on the color of Cajun Craze. It kind of seeps in and dyes the photopolymer, but that's okay. It doesn't affect the stamping. In fact, I don't mind it because I can kind of see the stamp better. So this one I have been using the crushed curry on, so you kind of see a little bit difference, but that's all, no line art. That's all the distinctive stamping, which is the gradation, little dots. So you'll see when I do this. In fact, what I could do is grab a piece of scrap paper. You know, I always have, and when I call scrap paper, I really mean basic white. Because yesterday's video I said you need scrap paper for stamping on, but it's basic white paper. But I want to show you this. I'm gonna stamp it just in the crushed curry, and I want to just show you. Hopefully you'll see this on the screen. Whoops. See how it's a line art, but also has the gradation in it. And then you can come in and you could use something else, like if I wanted to use this old olive, but I'm gonna stamp off. And then you go back in and you line this up. Now my head might get in the way. I might knock the camera, but you kind of aim it right down and then lift it up. And so now you have like a colored leaf, right? Now it's only 2 stamps that go with this, and I'm just going to clean it off with a baby wipe because my scrubber is still packed away. So this one this one I stamped with crushed curry, so that really doesn't matter. But anyway, that's how the distinctive stamp, and it's what they call a 2-step stamping, right? And then you could always go back in, like this one here. I could go back in with our finger daubers here and add a little bit of, this is Cajun Craze. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description of this video with yesterday's. Isn't that pretty? With yesterday's video, because I explain how to do most of this, but I'm also going to show you now how I did to get this kind of variation. So I'm inking up with crushed curry. Now, if I haven't said so, I'm just trying to make a few cards. They're not the same design as this one. This was the one I made for my team meeting. well, a remake of my team meeting. This is the one, we made this with the celebratory sips paper at the team meeting, but the video came out really bad. So anyway, I made this one yesterday and recorded it, and it's also here on YouTube. So I have inked this up. I want to get off some of the ink, so I'm stamping it a little bit. Then I'm going to take my Cajun Craze dauber, and I'll try to keep my fingers out from underneath so you can kind of see. And I'm just going to, I want a little bit of the outline on the leaves with this Cajun Craze. So I kind of use the edge of the dauber, and that's what's great about these finger daubers. Now I'm going to go in and kind of go from the center out on some of those veins in the leaf, right? So now I have a different dauber with every color that I am using today. But if you had to, you could kind of just keep squishing to get most of it off. But they come like, I don't know, they're $5 in a pack for maybe, I don't know, $6. They're not expensive at all. But then I'm going to go in and just here and there dab a little green. I'm sorry, old olive to be exact. Now, because we inked up the yellow, the crushed curry first, and it might have dried a little bit, you want to huff on your stamp, which is basically breathing hot air. You just go, and you breathe hot air onto your stamp a couple times, and it kind of moistens it a little, not with, you know, any kind of liquid coming out of your mouth, just the hot air kind of moistens it. So I'm going to huff on that, and then I'm going to stamp it on my basic white paper. Our basic white is beautiful to stamp on. Now, that looks kind of plain, right? But I'm going to show you how to make it kind of look like these guys. The other stamp that comes in this, for this two-step, is more gradation. So now I want the base of these to be crushed curry. So I have to slide this down, and again, my head might get in the way. But I am going to, I'm going to have to stand up for this. Do you stand up when you stamp? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. All right, I'm going to try to get this straight down. But again, it's a leaf, so it's not, if it's not perfect, that's not, you know, it's not the end of the world. Oops, I might have just put my head in the screen. All right, so still, I would like to add a little more yellow. So I'm going to just kind of sponge in the middle. Now, these daubers, if you swipe it, let me just show you up here. If you swipe it, you get like a mark, right? But if you just pounce it lightly, you almost get the same distinctive marking like the leaves the stamp set's giving you. So I did some yellow, and I think I want a little bit more green. So I'm just going to very lightly go in with some green. And this way, it's like in real life, every leaf is different. All right, so that's that. Now, this leaf here, I wanted a little more green, so I am stamping it in green. Then I'm going to stamp off some of the green because I want too dark. I caught the edge of my corner of my stamp block, so that's green. So now I'm going to add some, it's the old olive. So now I'm going to just put in a little bit of the Cajun Craze. And now I'm going to add a little bit. You won't see it much on the stamp. I know I'm going to go back in. And because Cajun Craze is lighter than them, after you stamp on here, you're going to get some ink on your dauber. So you can kind of see it's kind of stained. But as long as it doesn't come off, you're good. And all I do is I just do it on the scrap paper. All right, so I already have 3. So I'm making 4 cards today. So I'm going to do that. And look how dark it is, right? So we're going to fix that. We're going to go in with some crushed curry. I'm going to lighten up this leaf, and it doesn't bother me that it's that light. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit more yellow while I have it out, because I do like the yellow in the background, because it's kind of like it's happening, but the change is happening, but not too much. So anyway, so there's where we're at with that. But now I want to go in with a little bit of green and just try to make it so it's not like one big line of that. Oh, you know what I forgot? I'm going to do that again because I forgot. We also have, did I not take, that's why I didn't take it out. That's why. So there's also a swipe little area. That's why I forgot to do it. I did it yesterday though. So let me show you. I'm going to clean off my stamp. Now when I'm using baby wipes, this is kind of funny. You know when you get your stamp set, there's a couple sheets, the photopolymer comes on these sheets of plastic. It's like the heaviness of a window sheet. I throw away the really thin one, but I save this bigger one because when I am using something wet like a rag or a baby wipe, I just set it on my table and that's where I put this, so it's not going to land on any project. So see, it's on my little piece up here. All right, so now this is dry, or it's going to be dry because I'm wiping it on my black stretchy pants. That's why it's always good to wear black. So let me do this over because I forgot that the center part was done with the stamp. I'm getting off most of that oud olive ink, and then I'm going to put, oops, that's a little bit dark. I'm going to put a little bit, let me take off some of that. A little bit of this Cajun Craze, right? And now I'm going to stamp this. I'm not going to use the yellow, the crushed curry. So there's my stamp, just using this and daubing, sponge daubing on it, right? So now, I forgot, this has its own little swirly effect. See, I'll show you what it looks like. See? So I'm going to ink this up. I think I want to do it lighter because I can always do it twice. So I inked it up. That's called stamping off. And I'm going to do it again. All right. So now it's still a little light for my taste, but I didn't like it full strength. So I'm just going to go back in, and this way it'll be like less of a yellow stripe if I just kind of touch it up here and there with some of the other stamps. I mean, some of the other inks. Okay, so that's it for these things. And I will show you how I cut them out in 1 second. I just want to do some more stamping. But I am going to, this was a tip I showed yesterday. We're going to stamp the sentiment. And yesterday I stamped it on this circle, which I did like. So I'm going to do a couple of those. But I also pulled out some other shapes. I end up, when I die cut things, I end up try to die cut a couple of them. Gosh, I'm all covered with, I must have dug my finger into the Cajun Craze. Let me just clean off my hands. I think I need a new wipe because I am a mess. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm done with, oh no, I still need those out. But for the sentiment, I'm going to use the Cajun Craze. And I just figured, oh, and here's another one that I have too. I'll stamp on these. So my Cajun Craze is a brand new stamp set. I opened up both the Cajun Craze and the old olive yesterday. Because little by little I'm replacing all my older version of stamp sets, which is this. This is a really old one because it's the felt. All right, so I just got too much ink on it, so I'm going to just very lightly hit it. And I'm going to do a Grateful for You on this one. Oh, my tip was, excuse me, instead of trying to stamp on white, you know, it's hard to see the edge, the outline of your label. But if you put it on a darker color, it will come out. It'll be easier to see things. All right, so I'm trying not to get it too much ink on it because, like I said, my stamp is juicy, and the little loop in the F's are filling in. So I don't need this many labels, but I want to do a couple just to have let me just try to get some off first and then lightly again. Oops. Uh-oh, I have a lot of ink on this. Hopefully it doesn't. Okay, good. All right, so we are done with the Cajun Craze. So I'm going to close that up. Put that off to the side with its dauber. Now, so we have our titles, we have our leaves. One more thing. Some of the items that you need are these are little background pieces. This is a basic white 2 3/8 by 2 3/8. So I am going to, oh gosh, see, look at me. I am, you know what, I bet you there's ink on my case. All right, sorry about that. So I have some Cajun Craze on one side, so I'm going to flip it over. And I don't need this piece underneath, but I have 1, 2, 3 pieces. I think, I thought I had 4, but I guess we're making 3 cards today. All right. So what I'm using for this one is this little kind of dot pattern that is one of the stamps in here. And all I'm doing, I did it on this card. I just put a little bit of yellow crushed curry and a little bit of old olive behind. And I did stamp off. So I'll show you. I do some green. Now that, I got a smudge. Oh, no, I guess it was just a speck. So I'm going to ink up, stamp off. And it doesn't matter where you put these. I just want them light in the background. And I'm going to clean this off, this time with a dry. Something dry because I'm using the same color. I'm just, this pad is so juicy. And I'm turning the stamp. You're not going to see that much of this. These squares are smaller than the ones I used yesterday, so we're really not going to see much. But I'm just doing it all around the edge. Just to give it kind of just a little something. Just so it's not just a stark white background. And I'm turning it so that the dots don't all appear to be in the same direction. Okay, so that's all done for the old olive. And now, let me dry it off a little. And I'm going to use the crushed curry. So we're done with old olive, I believe. Yep, I don't need it anymore. I'm going to put it away. Yeah, I must have like got Cajun Craze on things because it's even on my, I'm going to have to go back and clean up everything because it's, oh, I bet you the daubers, maybe putting them up against it. All right, and I do have my rag here, so that's even better to wipe with. All right, now we want to do the crushed curry. And I'm just kind of putting this in. I'm going to do right in the center. I'm going to do the salt, and you'll see how dark it is. I don't want it that dark. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. I don't want it that dark. I just want something subtle. I put it in the middle because I know we're covering it up. So if you're wondering why I'm stamping off, that's a way of getting a light color. So it's called lighter shade of the color. So it is called stamping off, and it's when you do the lighter colors as next generation. So if I did, this would be the first generation, right? And then if I stamp off once, that would be second generation. And if I stamp off again twice, that would be third generation. You don't get much, but there's a little bit of difference. I'm not sure I can see, aside from that little blob that was the side of the stamp, because I was doing it fast. But anyway, back to this. And if you forget to stamp off, it's not a big deal. So I just want yellow, and the crushed curry and the old olive to be around the edge, just to peek out a little bit. All right, that's done. All right, we are done, I think, with all of this. I did my sentiments. Okay, so let's put away the ink, and I'm going to go get to the point of, I'm going to show you how I cut out the leaves. All right, and I use our little paper snips, and I'll cut out, I'm going to cut out one in front of you, and then I'm going to cut the rest off camera. All right, so, and I might not even cut the whole one here, because you would have seen me do some of it. So I'm going to get that stem off, and then you kind of just move the paper. Sometimes I move the scissors. It just depends on the angle I'm going. I'm leaving a me see if I can get it. It's hard to do it while I'm trying to record because I have to tilt it towards me to look at it, but tilt it towards the camera so that you can see it. So I'm just going around. I'm leaving a little tiny white border around the edge. Doesn't have to be exact, especially with leaves, because leaves, you know, can be irregular. All right. So I am going to freeze the camera, freeze my video right here, and I'll pause it, not freeze it, and finish cutting these out so that you don't have to be bored while I do this. Hey there, welcome back. I'm finishing up the last leaf. Maybe it wasn't in the screenshot. I end up pulling as I'm working, pulling things towards me, and I forget that I gotta stay in the middle of this black mat. Okay, so we have all our leaves done. We have our sentiments. We have this piece. So this piece, I already pulled off the, oh, here it is. So this piece, so these are the components, all right? So there's our sentiments. We're all done with all that. All right, so we have some sentiments. These were 2 3/8 inch white, basic white. Then we want 2 5/8 inch of our coordinating color. We need some inside pieces. Now, oh, I have to cut one more of these because I only have 2. So hang on one second. So yesterday, this is kind of funny. Well, it's not funny, but yesterday, with yesterday's card, I told you that you needed, so we're making 3 of everything. So yesterday's card, I told you you needed like one of these 1/2 inch by 4 pieces. It was supposed to go on the inside, but I ended up cutting a flower. I mean, oh gosh, why did I call it a flower? Maybe because they're so pretty. I ended up cutting a leaf apart. There was a piece that the leaf I wasn't using. I decided to cut it and put it on the inside. But you could always put one of these if you wanted to carry the what do you call it? Sorry, I can't even speak. The DSP to the inside. You could put a long piece along the side, but I just happen to have the extra flower. So I mean, see, leaf, Donna, leaf. Oh my goodness. Okay, so. But today I am going to use them. And I've already got some of the cards, 2 of the cards kind of put together already. But what else? What else you need? For your card bases, let's start over. Words are always hard for me. I don't understand it. So for your card base, you want an 8.5 by 11. And we're going to make 2 out of this base. But just so that you are aware, the piece that you'll see. All right. So I'm going to first score it just like normal. Forget about all the rambling I just had. You're going to hold it vertical, and on the short side, we're going to score it at 4 1/4. All right. Then normally we turn it and cut it 5 1/2, and it creates 2 card bases. Well, now we are going to, instead of turning it, we're going to slide it over to 3 1/4. All right, 3 1/4, and I'm going to slice. All right. Now this is what you could use to cut out your squares, but I've already used it because I did another piece. I've already done some of these. So then we have I don't know if you can see it on the camera. If I can kind of tip it to the light. It's a score line. It's about 1 inch away. Now we're going to turn it, and we're going to put it at 5 1/2 up here. Up here at 5 1/2, and we're going to cut. All right. So we are making kind of making 3 of these. I've got 3 of everything, but I ended up making 4 bases because you get 2 out of a sheet. So those are the instructions for doing that. If you want to jot those down, you could freeze the video and jot those down if you'd like. All right. Now what I'm going to do is take my bone folder and crease. I like to do mountain in the middle. The puffy side goes in the inside. And I'm going to crease it with my bone folder. Puffy side in the middle. I heard someone call it mountain in the middle once, and I've never forgotten it that way. So the mountain is the puffy part, right? And because what we've done is when we scored it, we've pressed down these fibers so that they won't crack if you, I mean, Stampin' Up! Paper is really good. It usually doesn't crack. But some papers that you might use, you want to fold it with the mountain in the middle. That way the crease side, the scored side is on the outside, just in case you're using some paper that might crack. All right, so then in order to make 3 cards, you need 3 mats, and they all have to be 4 by 5.5. So I have a sheet here. This is leftover from yesterday. So this is 12 by 5.5, and I'm going to cut this down into mats, and I'm going to cut them at 4 inches. It's already cut at 5.5. All right. Did I do that right? 4. Yes. All right, so we'll end up with 3 mats. That's why we're making 3 cards today. So they're 3 by 4 and a, no, not 3, 4 by 5.5. All right, it's a little different. Usually we do 4 by 5.25 for mats, but this is a different type of card we're making. The inside is going to be 4 by 5.25. Like I told you, we have the 2 5/8 and the colored card stock. So I'm going to put all that aside. Now, I'm going to bring out my trimmer again, because I like using this because we have a little lip. Move some of these stamps. So there's a little lip. This leg that comes out has a lip, which is great when you're cutting cardstock. Watch. Because if you put a piece of cardstock in and you go all the way up to the lip like that, that's 6 inches. Right? So you can just shoop, and you got your piece of 6-inch paper if you're cutting it for whatever. All right, so you could use a scoreboard. You could use the corner for this. You just want a corner that has a lip, 2 lips on it. All right. Scoreboard. You could use your Misty. You could use your Stamparatus. Anything that has a little lip. Now, what is going to happen here is this piece of paper, and I want to make sure my back is going in the right direction, so it goes this way, is going like this. But see how it's short? But that's okay. We cut that way on purpose because what we want is, we wanted to get as many as we could out of a piece of Designer Series paper. So if you cut your Designer Series paper, let me see if I can show you what I mean. Scrap paper, Donna. Here's some scrap. If you have a 12 by 12 piece, right? 12 by 12. And you're going to cut here at 5.5. And then 5.5 is 11, right? So you're going to end up like this, right? So you'll only end up with a 1-inch piece by 12. And you could use that to make your inside little 1/2-inch slips. Because then you're going to cut like this, right down. And you could go all the way if you want, depending on whether you cut, which cut first. So 4, 4, 4. So you can end up getting 4, 4, 4. So you get 6 out of a sheet of paper, which is great. And then you could use these. This is 1 inch, so then you could just cut this way, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 of these inside pieces to use on the inside of cards. All right, that was just a little side note. All right, back to this. So that's why we could have cut this 4 1/4, but then we would, if we did it 4 1/4, right, it would come to here, and then we'd have to start, and that would be another quarter, and then another quarter. So this one we wouldn't get. Hopefully you understand that. So in order to do this, we want to glue this in here, right? And you can just tap it like that, and you're going to glue, this down. However, if you put it in your, anything that can square it up like this, right? We put the first piece in, square it up, put this one. So we'll put it right down into the corner. That makes sure it's squared up and lined up, those edges. And then I'm going to take a little bit of glue, and I'm going to put it along this edge. I should move this up a tiny bit. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue along the designer's paper edge, just like that. All right. You could put a little bit more on the inside, but you just don't want to, we'll see an edge, so you just don't want the glue to seep out. So I just do the 2 lines, And I'm going to keep it up against this thing, and I'm going to fold it and press it down just like that. All right, and I'll do one more, and I already have another one done already. So we have 3. So I'm going to put this piece in. I'm going to make sure, let's see, if this is my card, I want to make sure my backing is in the right direction. So now I flipped it over, right? Push this all the way to the corner, and then this all the way to the corner. See, another use for your your Stampin' Up! Trimmer. All right, so now I'm going to put a bead of ink there, and a bead of ink there. Wipe it off. I got a little on my trimmer, and then fold it shut and close. And if you just use a fine bead of glue, you won't have any seepage. All right, because we don't like seepage. All right, that's that. All right, so hopefully that's a great way to square up your cards and stuff, right? You can do this corner too. It doesn't have a lip here because that's where the arm hinges, but it still works. Oops, I guess I should pull it down. That's what I'm saying. The hinge comes out here, right? But you can still use that corner too. Like I said, score tool, anything will work. All right, so now at this point, we're just going to assemble. All right? So I am going to, I know this is going to run out. I said it in yesterday's video, but it didn't. So I was like, oh, that's okay. So I'm going to put these 3 that we decorated, or stamped those spots on. Uh-oh, close. All right, and the very last one. You can go around the edge if you'd like. Usually I do. I'm trying to rush so this video doesn't turn into like a weekend long. All right, so we have those 3 pieces, all right, layered. And let's take care of our inside. All right, I am going to, now these are 4 by 5 1/4. And these are going to go right on the inside. And I'm going to leave even amount eyeball all the way around, about 1/8 of an inch all the way around, starting with the crease. Right? So you see a little bit of extra cardstock here to this side of the crease. I don't know if you can see that. But that's okay because we were able to get 3 across that sheet of 5 1/2, that strip of 5 1/2. Oops, I already done that one. So I have one less to do. All right. Oops. These goes in. Oh, goodness. Oh, well, I'm going to cover that up. I got a little fingerprint. All right. I don't know. I thought I cleaned. Hold on. I just want to double check. I thought I cleaned well after I put away all the inks, but maybe I touched something again. Goodness gracious. All right. Now I'm going to take these pieces here, and I want to grab my silicone mat in case I go over the edge with this because it doesn't stick to it. And I'm going to just put this right in the bottom. These are 1/2 inch by 4, and this would match. Just gives a little something. See what I mean? But it doesn't stick to it, right? So if I go over, see? I go watch me go to the end of this. I'll go over, and it doesn't stick. It just falls back on the thing. These silicone mats are the greatest. Now you could leave like this one. I'll go up a little bit and leave it a hair up. All right, and this one. Right. A little extra on the end, and this one. Yeah, I think I like it a little bit. I like a little bit of white. All right. Oops, that one goes over the edge a little. So I'm just going to slightly trim it. Perfect. All right, 3 cards. Now, I'm going to get some dimensionals out. This is going to go on the card this way, just like a diagonal. So I am going to put some dimensionals one in each corner. Guess I can get rid of my silicone mat now. Oops, that one's already trying to come off. You could put this flat if you'd like, but I think I'm going to put this. Oh, where's my little, look at my little angel wing. I'm trying to stay neater when I pull these things off. Do you guys remember Misty, my cat? She's been gone for a couple years now, but she was always walking around the house with these little backings, dimensional backings, stuck to her. Now you could put this on square if you'd like, but I just think that the diamond, putting on like this, does something to it, right? Let me get the right way. I think like that would be good. Is my head in the way? I hope not. So, like I said, mass producing, but don't you just love that way of making a card base and doing that with it? I mean, you could easily cut it and put a full piece, but I think it just adds something, having that, just the strip of the crushed curry that matches the diamond. Okay, done. Now I'm going to put the leaves down flat, I believe. Did I want to do... No, I think I'll put them up on dimensionals. So I'm going to put like 2 dimensionals in the middle for now, just like this, because I'll go back and I will stick some more underneath. That's what I did yesterday if you watched. And then the leaves, we're going to try to glue those on, but I'll show you what I'm going to try to do. Get my little angel wing to collect my little pieces. Have you guys got your Advent calendar yet? I'm just going to put this at an angle, I think. Kind of like the stem going this way. The Advent calendar. Where is the piece of paper I had? I'll show you. Goodness. I have everything all over. I wasn't planning on showing you this, but they have an Advent, a 12-day Advent calendar on sale at Stampin' Up. So if you go to my Stampin' Up, donnasingleton.stampinup.net, you can shop for this. Or if you've got my email, I sent this out a couple days ago, and you just click on this link and you'll be able to buy it. It is $99, but this little, it's a box that folds open, right? Folds open, and you open the little windows. I don't know whether you are going to open them one for each of the 12 days, or whether you, like, I have a feeling I'm going to want to open every single window, but we'll see. But anyway, inside, I'm going to read what it says. Every day of this calendar contains never-before-seen dies, paper, embellishments, and even more items you won't find in any of our catalogs or our online store. So it is going to have it has $125 worth of product in it. So I think this is going to be a great little item. It is expensive. $99 is a lot, but maybe you should buy it. Tell your significant other to buy it for you, but get it soon, because I think that they might. It's only available while supplies last. And as of last night, it was still there. I didn't check this morning because I ordered mine on Tuesday when they first came out, because they started on September 23rd. You would have got this email if you're on my email list. If you're not on my email list, you can email me at donnasingleton33@yahoo.com, and I will add you to my list. All right, so that's the Advent calendar that is going on now. I mean, I can't wait to get it, and I will share it with you when I get it. Okay, back to this. So I'm going to do that one at an angle. Maybe I'll put this one straight. I'm going to just do a couple different. And let's see. Well, let me leave that one because I'll see what I want to do with this. So now I'm just putting one leaf. Yesterday's card had 2, but I think I just want 1 leaf. And I think I'm going to, let's see. Whoops, I lost it. I think what I want to do is put it kind of over the side here. maybe there. So I'm just going to put a little adhesive on the bottom part of it and just stick it under. That's why I didn't want to put dimensionals all over the place. It doesn't even need this leaf. I'm thinking that I might not do it on this one. Yeah, I'll leave that one plain. Maybe I'll use 2 on this one. Let's see where I can stick this one. Right? Maybe I'll just do 2 like that. That's kind of pretty. And then I'll do 1 on this one. I think I'll do this straight again. I think I'm going to like the straightness. Well, maybe a slight angle. Maybe not as big as the angle before. And same thing with this. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back bottom. Just like that. Alright, so 2 on this one, 1 on this, and none on this. Okay, so, like I said before, I didn't put... I'm looking around as I'm saying this, because I don't know where my I think my Take Your Pick tool rolled off to somewhere. Oh, here it is. I put it right back in my pencil holder, my tool holder. Huh, I actually followed the rules. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm going to take the tops off of a couple of these. And before I peel them off, because then I can lift them with my tool, like this, and figure out where I need a dimensional. Okay, so I put 2 on that one. Oh, come on. Uh-oh. Oh, it landed on another one. Oops, put it in your little tray, Donna. My little wings. You want to just make sure you're sliding it under and not having it show. I think I need... Oh, that's good. Alright, and a couple more for this card. This one's the only straight one, so I might need to put a little bit more. I'm going to put 1 at the top there. And, oops, sticking to my finger. And under this guy. Alright. Alright, 3 done. Now remember I stamped a bunch of these, so I can see what I like. Right, this one, that's kind of big, so I might just put that aside. I do like the circle. This is what we used yesterday. We did it with the circle, see? I do like this. I think I like this thin one, right? I like the stem, so I don't want to cover that up. But what I want to do is put a little adhesive on this side, and on the other side I have to put 2 dimensionals down to the end. So I need a double dimensional. Keep moving my thing out of the way. I don't know why. I'm doubling up these dimensionals. And because, let's see, when I put this down, right, there's 1 layer of dimensionals under the leaf, and then there's another layer under there. So I've got 2 dimensionals that I'm going to stick right under there, like that. That way, it's nice and even. All right. Now, the circle. I do like it on the right side for some reason. I think I can get away with just a dimensional on this. Let's see. Let me see what I did. Yeah, I'm going to have to put 1 little double underneath this. These things go all over the place. And I'm going to stick this underneath, so that's doubled. But you know what I did is I didn't put one over here. So I want, oops, sorry for that. I want one. I've got my phone in front of me, and I'm going to turn the thing down because my son is in Italy, and he is sending me pictures of everything. Because that's like my bucket wishes to go to Italy. Okay, so that's done. That's nice. Do I want to do the circle? I do happen to like, what do you think? I can't hear you, but I think I'm going to do the grateful for you again. But yeah, he's sending me like their sightseeing, and I told him to take lots of pictures. Where am I going to put this? He's such a good kid. All right, so you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it right here. Oops. And let the stem kind of come over. How's that? Oops, this is a little crooked. Yeah. All right, I'm going to put one little piece of dimensional. So anyway, that's him. That's the ding ding that you hear on my phone. But I silenced it. Okay. Done, done, done. These I can just put in my little container that I have of other stamped things. Now we need some last things. Yesterday I used these strawberry slush and pretty in pink gems. These up here, because even though, I mean, this is strawberry and this is pretty in pink, but these are kind of clear. But they have gold in them, so it kind of went with the paper. I'm just going to pull this on my nail to straighten out the hoop. I mean, the looping of it. So let me see. I'm going to tie a little bow. And twine has a habit of twisting, but try to get it straightened out. And I need my ribbon scissors. All right, there's one. So if you don't know how to tie a bow, I do this. Let me see if I can do it higher. Maybe if I put that out of the way. I hold it like that. It's just a loop, right? And then I go behind. And see how I've kind of created a loop on my finger? Oh gosh, it's hard to do in slow motion. I'm going to have to do it. Wait a sec. It's hard to show you. I go around my finger like that. See? And then I push a piece of it with this finger. I'm pushing into that loop that's around, and I pull my other finger out. Does that make sense? You'll see it again in a second. All right? And then I just kind of pull the knot, but not too tight, until I get it exactly the size I want, and then I pull it. All right? And then I'm going to take the tails. It's hard to do that in slow motion, but I'm going to see how it's wrinkly or curly from coming off the spool. Run it over your fingernail like this, or the edge yesterday I showed. I did it on the edge of a stamp pad. So I make a loop, right? And pinch it. Go around that finger. So making a loop, right? And then I'm taking this and I'm going to push a loop through that. I don't know if you can see. And I'm going to pull that loop through. It's very hard to do in slow motion. And then, oh, I got to do it again. I can't do it slow motion. So I'm going to try to do it slowly, but not in slow motion. There. Hope you got that. There is another way you could do it. I'll show you. You could do it like this. You could make 2 loops, right? Keep it on your spool so you're not wasting a lot. Just make 2 loops and just go one over the other and push it through like that. And then pull the 2 sides. You kind of have to do a little bit of flipping doing it this way. But that's another way of making it. I just think that my fingers work better doing the other one. And I make a lot of bows, so. But anyway, and then just pull it tight. But I hold the knot when I do that so that it doesn't come out. All right. Now that we wasted 10 minutes on... I know I made, oh, here it is. I was like, I know I made 3. All right, so glue dots. I got them on my, I put this little ribbon here. I have to tighten it every once in a while, but it's so the spool doesn't unravel. I know I'm going to need 3, so I'm going to I'm going to cut off 2 glue dots. One will just get wasted, half of one I should say. And I'm going to cut it, and most of the time it does come off on my scissors. So you can use your fingers or take your pick tool, right? And put this on the back and figure out where I want it. I think I want it like right on the bottom of that. So this is the old olive thread, linen thread. It comes in a combo pack with early espresso. So early espresso and old olive linen thread pack. It came out with this in the same suite as this paper here. All right. Okay, so that's almost done. Oops, oops, oops. I almost got rid of my glue dots. All right, so this one, I'm gonna roll it kind of on itself into a little ball. And then I don't want it wrapped around the tip of my thing. All right. Put that on this. And I'm going to put it kind of on the side on this one. All right, and we have one more. So turn this around, cut it in half. And so I waste half a glue dot, not a big deal. I probably shouldn't have thrown it away until I got this one off, just in case I needed it. All right, and I take this one, put it on there, and which card needs it? Oh, I think I'm going to put it right on the stem, just like that. Whoops, I pulled it off. Right on the stem. All right, so there are 3 cards. Now I'm going to use the clear, and I like to do 3, and if I have big and small, then I usually do like 2 big and a small. So I'm going to put a big one there, and a little one there, and this big one. Do I want to take it off of the, maybe I'll put it down here on that one. On this one, same thing. If it works, why switch it up? And I think it's too much if I put it on the leaf. Maybe I'll put it up here on this thing there. And then this one's straight, so it's going to be a little different. I'm going to put 2 like that, right? And I think I'll put right on the white spot. All right, so 3 cards. Oops, 3 cards. Quickly, too. So when you cut your 8.5 by 11, you're going to end up with 4. So I have the supplies to make a 4th one. In fact, I kind of made it, but you need to cut another piece of your designer paper, and I'll just go back and I'll duplicate what we just did, because I have a leaf left, and I did cut these, but I just wanted to get through. Oops, I have 2 leaves cut, 2 of those. So I have a set that I can make, but I wanted to just do these 3 because you got 3 out of the 5.5 by 12 inch piece, because you got it 4, right? So you have 4 pieces of 4. So that's it, folks. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you're not subscribed to my channel here, if you're watching on YouTube, you could please, if you would, subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, you could follow me. I've been kind of out of sync for a little bit, but I'm going to bring this up and show you up close how those embellishments look. But I'm feeling better now and getting back into things. So please hit the like button if you happen to like my video, and hit the notification button if you want to find out when I go live again. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.